45 kilovolt-ampere transformer mounted above a suspended ceiling does require 3 feet of clearance in front of it. This requirement is primarily driven by safety and accessibility concerns, as detailed within the National Electrical Code, or NEC. The NEC establishes minimum working clearances around electrical equipment to ensure that qualified personnel can safely operate, inspect, maintain, and repair the equipment. These clearances are not arbitrary, they are carefully calculated based on voltage levels and potential hazards. The specific section of the NEC that addresses working clearances is typically found in Article 110.26, Spaces about electrical equipment. This article outlines the required dimensions of working space in front of electrical equipment, the width and height of the working space, and the need for dedicated equipment space. The primary goal of these requirements is to provide sufficient space for personnel to perform their tasks safely and without obstruction. The necessary clearance depends on several factors, including the voltage of the equipment, whether the equipment is enclosed or exposed, and the presence of any grounded surfaces or other obstructions nearby. For a 45 kilovolt-ampere transformer, the voltage level is a critical factor in determining the required clearance. Transformers often operate at different voltage levels depending on their application, but the most common voltage configurations for this size of transformer are 480 volts, 208 volts, or 240 volts on the primary side, and 120/240 volts or 277/480 volts on the secondary side. The specific voltage determines the exact clearance required by the NEC. According to NEC 110.26a, the depth of the working space in front of electrical equipment is dependent on the voltage to ground and the conditions present. There are 3 conditions outlined in the NEC that determine the required depth of working space. Firstly, condition 1 exists where there are exposed live parts on one side of the working space and no grounded parts or grounded surfaces on the other side of the working space. Secondly, condition 2 exists where there are exposed live parts on one side of the working space and grounded parts or grounded surfaces on the other side of the working space. Thirdly, condition 3 exists where there are exposed live parts on both sides of the working space, requiring the most clearance. For example, let's consider a 45 kilovolt-ampere transformer operating at 480 volts. If condition 1 applies, which means there are no grounded parts or surfaces on the opposite side of the working space, the required clearance would typically be 3 feet. However, if condition 2 applies, meaning there are grounded parts or surfaces on the opposite side, the required clearance might increase to 3 feet 6 inches. If condition 3 applies, the clearance may increase to 4 feet. These dimensions are measured horizontally from the enclosure or live parts to the nearest grounded surface or obstruction. In the context of a transformer mounted above a suspended ceiling, several considerations must be addressed to ensure compliance with the NEC. Firstly, the suspended ceiling itself should not obstruct the required working space. This means that the area in front of the transformer must be free from any panels, light fixtures, or other obstructions that would impede access. Secondly, the means of access to the transformer must be safe and adequate. If a ladder or platform is required to reach the transformer, it must be stable and of appropriate height. Thirdly, the area around the transformer must be well lit to allow for safe and effective work. Furthermore, it's essential to consider the height of the working space. NEC 110.26e specifies the minimum headroom required in working spaces around electrical equipment. The general rule is that the headroom must be at least 6 feet 6 inches high, or the height of the equipment, whichever is greater. In the case of a transformer mounted above a suspended ceiling, the headroom must be sufficient to allow personnel to stand upright and work comfortably. This may necessitate adjustments to the ceiling height or the positioning of the transformer. The width of the working space is also crucial. NEC 110.26 ATWA requires that the working space be at least 30 inches wide or the width of the equipment, whichever is greater. This width must be maintained throughout the entire depth of the working space, ensuring that personnel have enough room to maneuver and perform their tasks safely. Another important aspect to consider is the dedicated equipment space. NEC 110.26 requires a dedicated space above and below electrical equipment for the installation of raceways, cables, and other necessary components. This space must be kept clear of any foreign objects or equipment that could interfere with the proper functioning of the electrical system. In the case of a transformer mounted above a suspended ceiling, this dedicated space must be maintained to ensure that the transformer can be properly ventilated and cooled. It is also worth noting that local electrical codes may have additional requirements beyond those specified in the NEC. It is always advisable to consult with local authorities or a qualified electrical inspector to ensure full compliance with all applicable regulations. These local codes may be more stringent or may address specific issues related to the installation of electrical equipment in suspended ceilings. Moreover, the type of transformer can influence the installation requirements. Dry-type transformers, which are commonly used indoors, typically require adequate ventilation to prevent overheating. The NEC specifies minimum clearances around dry-type transformers to ensure proper airflow. These clearances may vary depending on the size and design of the transformer, so it is important to consult the manufacturer's specifications. In addition to clearance requirements, there are other safety considerations to keep in mind when installing a transformer above a suspended ceiling. Firstly, the transformer must be properly supported to prevent it from falling or shifting. The supports must be strong enough to bear the weight of the transformer and any additional equipment that may be mounted on it. Secondly, the transformer must be properly grounded to protect against electrical shock. The grounding system must comply with the requirements of NEC Article 250 grounding and bonding. Thirdly, the transformer must be protected from physical damage. This may involve installing barriers or enclosures to prevent accidental contact with the transformer. Proper labeling is also essential for safety and identification. The transformer should be clearly labeled with its voltage rating, capacity, and other pertinent information. This labeling helps to ensure that qualified personnel can quickly and accurately identify the transformer and its characteristics. Additionally, warning signs should be posted to alert personnel to the presence of high voltage equipment. In summary, a 45 kilovolt-ampere transformer mounted above a suspended ceiling does require 3 feet of clearance in front of it, as mandated by the NEC and local electrical codes. This clearance is necessary to ensure safe access for operation, inspection, maintenance, and repair. The specific clearance requirements depend on the voltage level, the presence of grounded surfaces, and other factors. It is essential to consult the NEC and local codes to determine the exact requirements for a particular installation. By adhering to these regulations, electrical professionals can help to prevent accidents, protect property, and ensure the safe and reliable operation of electrical systems. Remember to consider the height and width of the working space, the dedicated equipment space, and the ventilation requirements for dry-type transformers. Proper grounding, support, labeling, and protection from physical damage are also essential safety considerations. Finally, always consult with local authorities or a qualified electrical inspector to ensure full compliance with all applicable regulations.